kind of ended abruptly. I didn't do that. That was the way the video came out. Hey, how's it going? I did get notifications on my screen that it went live on, like, it must have went on all, because I got a bunch of notifications all at once.
I saw Pose. His is activated right now.
Nice.
Got a notification on it.
I guess we made it. Kelly's here. LOL, and she must be watching.
There she is.
So I guess I should throw the overlay up so other people can see who's here.
Yep.
Hey, there's Salty.
Oh, Salty.
There's Salty. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. I don't know. Salty, how are you doing over there with the weather? I know the weather's been horrendous. I don't know if you've seen that flooding that's been going on in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
He lives in Texas.
All those girls and stuff, yeah. So, and hey, there's Gideon.
Gideon.
We were just talking about you, Gideon, and it was mostly nice stuff. So,
truck stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, Joker and Derek.
Joker's here. The Joker is in the house.
Joker.
And Derek, hey, why? That's just a generic whenever we go live. Why? Why? Now he's trying to correct himself now. Hey.
It's autocorrect.
Yeah. All right. So it's been a month. So I guess maybe Greg, we'll start with you with because you've had all your how's your month gone since the last time we saw you? How's your are you healing up? Are you feeling better?
Things are getting better. I don't remember what all I said about it, and I won't bore everybody with it. But when I had the surgery on the second leg, I thought it was going to be fast and easy because it wasn't as bad a leg as the other one. But there was complications in surgery. I had 2 surgeries that night. They did the knee replacement. It was an afternoon. It was scheduled for the afternoon. It's just the way it turned out. And of course, the physical therapist came and talked to me. I did some walking and everything. Then I was just laying in the bed. My foot didn't feel right. I said, and make a long story short, a nurse, if it wasn't for a male nurse, young kid, came in and he said, I don't think something's right with your foot. He says, I'm going to bring in a person to come do a Doppler, which is an echo or whatever you want to call it. It's, to check for blood flow. And I had none in my leg. Evidently, during the knee replacement, they blocked a artery somehow. And so I had to go back in, lay on my back from 2 o'clock in the morning till 6 a.m. awake while they did a catheterization on my leg. And boy, it was amazing. I could tell the minute they broke through the obstruction because my foot was killing me and numb and I couldn't even move it. And then all of a sudden, it's like the numbness went away, the warmth came back, everything was fine. But that created a whole bunch of other problems, more swelling. I asked them, I said, why is it so swollen? Well, you had 2 procedures. And next thing I know, I'm in ICU and doctors. I'll tell you what, these doctors, some of them are idiots. They kept coming in. They said, well, we checked this and we checked that. And we don't think we found anything in your lungs. And I said, what are you talking about? And it just got crazy. Finally, I told one doctor, I said, another doctor came in and said, I don't know what he's talking about. So I told that guy, don't even come back. So it was just a mess. So I got that done, and I went in 4 weeks later to have the doctor look at it, and he was taking the staples out, and I guess I passed out.
Oh.
Travis took me, and he said, I don't remember passing out, but Travis said, Dad, and I just kind of, what? And he says, you've been out for a few minutes, and it was I was at the doctor's building. I told them I wanted to go to they called an ambulance. I told them I wanted to go to my regular hospital, right, where I had the knee replaced. Well, there's a hospital right next door to this doctor's office. It's a real crappy hospital in town. It's like not a full service hospital or something. And they were having tornado warnings. And the ambulance refused to drive me to the other hospital because the tornado was supposedly between us and them. So they just dumped me at that hospital right next door and left me.
Oh, jeez.
So that was an experience. So I spent the night that night. And then, of course, the rest of it, that's all me whining. The rest of it's all, everything's getting good. It's just a slower process than what I was hoping for. And, I can't drive yet. And the pain's getting better, but it's not fun. It's my leg gets swole up real easy. So anyway, I'm back fine. Everything's good. And then and then talking about the medical stuff, that's enough of that. I guess the wife felt sorry for me. I was able to pick up a Switch 2 on on launch day.
Nice.
And that's an interesting story. Travis wanted one, and we were both looking at the availability. Just look, I got on the early thing to get one early, and that was just like everybody said. They were telling the truth that you'd get on Best Buy or Walmart site, and they had you like in a queue, and then it says, "Okay, it's your turn, you're up," and then the system would crash. So I just gave up. It said, "Sorry, no more, nothing available." So Travis took me to physical therapy out in Harrisonville, which is the town to the south of us. There's Belton to the north and south of is Harrisonville, and about 6 miles each way, but it's more urban out there. It's more rural out there in Harrisonville. So he dropped me off, and I was going to be there an hour, and I said, "Hey, just for giggles, why don't you go by that Walmart and see if they got any?" So I'm laying there getting my physical therapy, and next thing I know, my son's texting me saying, "They got them. I'm getting one." I said, "Well, get two." He says, "Can't. They won't let me. They only let me get one." I said, so he pleaded with me. He says, "My dad had surgery. He's been in the hospital. He's done." They didn't give a shit. No, don't care. So he came back, and I told the therapist, who's a gamer, I told him, I said, "Hey, the Switch 2, they got them in at Belton." He says, "Well, I'm not going to get one now." But Harrisonville Walmart. I said, "I got to get out of here." He said, "Go." So I left. Travis pulled up in front of the store in the fire lane and ran in and got me one of them little old people electric scooters. I jumped in that thing and about ran over 3 people getting back to electronics. And sure enough, there were 4 or 5 of them left in the thing with the Mario Kart bundle. And I told the guy what I wanted. He rang me up. I went right out the door. So I had one day one.
Nice.
And
Nice.
I felt pretty lucky about that. So it ended up all coming. So medical stuff aside, I'll be 70 years old next year. What the hell? This shit happens.
Right.
And,
well, I know real quick, I don't mean to interrupt, but before you get completely off the medical side, I just got to ask the question everybody's wondering. Was it the first procedure, the second procedure, or that shitty hospital that made your beard fall out?
Oh. No, it's a medical thing. I developed some type of rash on my face, and I was itching it, and I woke up the next morning, there's blood on my pillow.
Oh, jeez.
And so I got a hold of my dermatologist, which I happen to have one. When you're at my age, you have a doctor for everything. And they gave me some cream that's clearing it up, but they said, "You're going to have to get rid of that. The cream's not going to penetrate with that beard." So and they don't know where it came from. And they said, the dermatologist even told me, the hospital's the nastiest place you could be. And you could have probably picked up something from there. Who knows?
Right. Last time I woke up with blood on my pillow, I was shocked, and I went out to tell Kelly, and she was washing off a steak knife. I don't know what that was all about. But yeah. Anyway, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So
but I've been having fun with the Switch too. I all the problems I'm hearing people say they're having. What? I'm not having them. And you can buy 30 people can buy a Ford F-150, and 10 of them are going to be, or 5 of them at least, are going to have a problem. Right. Some of them are going to have a problem. So I'm not saying those people are lying, they're saying they're having a problem with them, but my answer to that is take it back and get another one.
Right. Right.
You know, if it's available. But I've had nothing but fun and good things to say about it. And the other bad thing, I don't know if it's a bad thing or not, but I know Mike knows about this. I think, Mike, you're a Legends of Zelda player, right? You have been playing it before? Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, you know, I've gotten hooked. I'll tell you,
Yeah,
I thought
it's a fun game.
Yeah, it just sounded kind of silly to me at first, but I hear more and more people talking about playing it. And then, Mike, you talked about playing it. I think Poe even mentioned playing it.
Poe plays it too.
Yeah, and so I went ahead, but I bought the version for the Switch 1. And the reasoning behind that is if you buy the Switch 2 version, you can't play it on the Switch 1. And I've still got 2 Switch 1s left. And that's another thing people have been saying, oh, I'm going to sell mine. You know, well, they're not going to give you anything for them. You know, GameStop and them, unless you can find somebody who wants to buy it. But I'm going to keep it because that'll be my travel one. But anyway, getting back to Zelda, I wanted to be able to play it on both. And the nice thing is, Nintendo did it pretty solid on this. If you had Zelda 1 for the Switch 1 or whatever you want to call it, and you have the expansion pack, or even if you don't, you can pay an extra $10 and they'll upgrade you on the Switch 2 to the Switch 2 version. So it was kind of cool. I bought it, I put it in the game, and put it in the Switch, and the Switch automatically told me, hey, you're an expansion pack member. Go over there and grab your, it was smart enough to tell me, go over and grab it. So I went over and grabbed it, and it's working fine. It's working like a charm. Now I'm doing Tears of the Kingdom. Travis is doing the other one,
Breath of the Wild.
Breath of the Wild. And I know Breath of the Wild comes before Tears of the Kingdom, but I told him, I said, you can, we each bought one, and we figured we'd swap them back. But he said he really wanted to play Breath of the Wild, so I said, I don't care. And from what I've heard about him, you don't have to play one before the others. I don't know. It's cool. It's a fun game, and it's a lot of. You just realize it's not every other game I've played. It's been fast. You want it fast. You want to get to the end. You want to win. This thing here. I mean, I've heard you can put up to 150 hours through it and still not get everything done.
Yeah, you can take your time on it. It's not something you don't rush and beat. Just explore the world. That's what makes it fun.
But one thing I do love about it is it does let you save the game. I played that last game I completed was, what was it? It was on the Xbox. It was at South of Midnight, which was got different reviews. It had good reviews, but I actually played it all the way through. But it would only save the game at certain save points. So if you wanted to quit, you had to go back and replay some stuff. It seemed like a long time between. But this Zelda, you can just say, I want to save it. Anytime it comes right back. So So anyway, I'm having fun with that. And let's see, what's Derek saying? Cool, Greg. I need to get into the latest Zelda. Yeah, it is fun, Derek, and I'm rather enjoying it. And the graphics, the Switch 2. I think that's the last thing I'll say about it. Then I'll move on to something else. But Bart, I think it was Bart, texted me and said he watched one of my videos of me loading Mario Kart World. No, was it a pinball machine? There was something I loaded, and you loaded it. You decided.
Yeah, it was Pinball FX.
Yeah, and you decided to load yours at the same time I loaded mine, playing the video back. You said I loaded. I was able to load it. How many seconds earlier, sooner?
Yeah, I don't remember. It was. I tried to time it so as soon as you hit to load it, I hit it to load it, and you were somewhere 5 or 10 seconds, something like that, faster. Just to load that game, or maybe it was even longer than that, because it might have been like 20 seconds. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the text or the message, but it was significant, like 20%, maybe go with a percentage, 25% faster to load on the Switch 2 than it was on the original Switch.
Well, I noticed there's no stuttering, no lag on the. There's always been some lag on the Switch with Pinball FX, not so much FX3, but there's always been some. I always said there hasn't been any, but it does have some lag, but it's not enough to me to make a difference. You just got used to it. If you see the ball coming, you just had to get your finger used to twitching a little sooner. But it's not doing it on the Switch too. So I don't know. I think they can, and the price. That's the only other thing I want to say about the price. I was going to do a video on my own channel about this, but I didn't have a chance. But people complain about the chance that the Switch 1 came out at right about $300 when it came out, and it's been out for well over 12 years. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's been out over 10. I think close to 12 years between consoles. So, if they put out a console 2 years ago at $299 and went to $500 in 2 years, I could see that as kind of a real quick increase in price. But when you're talking over 10 years, what has everything else done price rise over the last 10 years? There's been prices have gone crazy. So I don't think Nintendo is out of line, and to me, it was well worth the price paid.
Yeah.
So
8 years. 8
Oh,
years.
it was 8 years? Okay, well, I was wrong.
March 3rd, 2017.
Okay, but still
Yeah.
8
Go ahead.
years. No, that's all I was going to say is 8 years. Look at what inflation's been over 8 years.
Right.
All right.
That's
I'm sorry,
true.
Mike, what were you going to say, Mike?
Well, first off, I want to just say Feral Infernal showed up. Just say hello.
Oh yeah.
And also, Derek had a statement about, I'm kind of in agreement with Derek on this. They don't have the game card. So there's that key card. Some of the games have a key card, which I'm a physical collector. And also the ability to break things. That's if you're using... I know Poe's got that thing where he can load up a bunch of games on one card, so you don't have to keep switching it out. And Nintendo, detects that, they'll brick your system.
Yeah.
So for those of us who like modding and stuff, that's not good.
Right.
And also the key cards. I know they have physical games. I mean, I've seen other YouTubers buy the Switch 2, and they can still buy physical games for it, which that should be fine. But yeah, I don't think the key cards right now are doing too hot, with the exception of some of the other stuff. And then for me, I'm kind of I like waiting before I get something. I mean, I'm more of a special edition collector. So if they have something like a Zelda edition,
Right.
I might pick it up
Right.
with another Zelda game. So I'm trying to see what kind of new, first party game, like either a Mario or a Zelda. When that comes out, then I might pick one up. Right now, I'm kind of on the fence. I just want to see what's going to be going on with the Switch 2 before I decide to pick one up. But I think it's neat still.
You hit on a good point. Also, even with the Switch 1, there were version 1, version 2, version 3, and a lot of people were happy that they waited till a newer hardware version came out. I mean, they found out there was some things they found out were screwed up, and they fixed it. So, I'm obviously stuck with that risk. I know somebody says, Derek says he's got a modded OLED. See, this is not OLED, but there's different things that are better about it. It's got I don't know all the terminology, refresh rates or something, and frames per minute.
Yeah, the FPS. I mean, if you're playing it on TV, you're fine. I mean, if you're carrying it handheld mode, which I don't really use my Switch to do that. I like playing it on the big TV. That's what I care about.
Right.
Even though I got an OLED Switch as well.
Right.
Hardly gets ever used the OLED. I just hooked it to the TV and that's it.
Let's see. I want to see what Feral Infernal. Let's see what he said. Key cards are okay, better than straight digital. But it's considering that there's so many key cards compared to straight.
Yeah.
I'll address that. The first thing is I agree with Feral. A key card is better than straight digital because you can sell it. You can sell it back. You can, GameStop or whoever will, buy them back used, and I could sell it to Mike or Bart or whatever because they can use it. The disadvantage is I agree with what a lot of people say, that the collectors and stuff, you pay for the game, you ought to have the damn thing. Look at there's
this guy.
Switch 2, the Switch Poo, yeah.
I thought we had that guy banned. He wasn't allowed to. How's it going, Poe?
Derek, I would wait to see if someone can hack it and go buy it. I think I'll wait too. If someone hacks it and stuff, then I might grab one as well.
Boy, they were quick to do that, weren't they? I mean, it was like day 2, people were putting out, my Switch got bricked. And I mean, nobody's figured out how to unbrick them. I mean, they're just done.
Yeah. But I mean, there's those of us that have the original. I'm like happy with what I have now. I got the Splatoon 2 edition OLED Switch, and I love, even granted it has stuttering sometimes, especially if you're playing Breath of the Wild. But I mean, if you're looking back to the original NES, it had that same problem too. If you had too many characters, it starts stuttering on the screen and stuff. So I'm kind of used to that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to what they're going to have in the future for it. So we'll see.
Yeah. Calvin Wong is here. He said he bought many as used Switch games. Hey, and Mike just showed up here.
Mike. Hey, Mike.
Good to see you, Mike. Yeah. And Derek says they already figured out how to hack it too already. Yeah.
Nice.
Hey, it doesn't take long for hackers to get into that stuff. Yeah.
So yeah, like I say, the digital versus the key card. Well, the only other thing I wanted to say on that I heard the argument the other way was that you do realize, like, I bought a couple Xbox CDs, the discs that go into Xbox. It's a key. There's no damn data on it. If you download the game, you can buy the digital version. Or if you buy the physical copy of the disc, it still takes and downloads the same amount of gigs of game space. So that CD that they give you is nothing more than something that goes out there and tells Xbox or Microsoft, hey, this disc is a legitimate owner of this product. He can download it and play it. And you can sell it to somebody else so they can do that. But it's still a key card. Microsoft's been doing it, and I don't know. I'm not a PlayStation guy. If Poe was here, or Mike, you're a PlayStation guy. I mean, isn't PlayStation doing something similar? The discs got nothing on them.
No, I think most of them have something on them. Trying to think what doesn't have on them. I think the online games like Helldivers, I got that one. I think that's the disc to activate it online. That's probably it. But all my other games on it, like Resident Evil, they're physical. So,
right.
I mean, you can buy it. They have like on the PlayStation Store the digital copies of it, but no, most of the games are physical on there.
Really? Yeah, because I know the Xbox. I tested it out and I looked at the game online and it said it's 26 gig download if you buy the digital. Well, when I put the disc in, it said going to Microsoft and downloading 26 gig of data. So that tells me that disc has nothing on it, but it's something that allows you to go download it without paying for it online. You already paid.
Yeah, Mike brought up a good point. Yeah, he's right on that. A lot of games too are kind of unfinished, and in a way, we're kind of like the beta testers. So they probably have all the updates before they get the game, finished. And it's like, dude, you put it in your system, getting all the fixes that they should have fixed in the first place before releasing the game. So that's kind of the day and age we live in, is where the the people making the games don't want to finish it before releasing it. So I know, like for me, there are certain games like from certain studios that'll do that. I'm like, what's taking forever? And it's like, oh, all these stupid updates you got to download.
Yeah. Well, hey, Bart asked me a simple question about my hospital stays and stuff, and we've been on here for now 20-some minutes, and I know Bart wanted, if Gideon's still there, I know we talked beforehand, there's something you wanted to bring up while Gideon's here, so I'm going to shut up and throw it back to you, Bart.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'm guessing Gideon's still here. I don't know. I just, real quick, and I was almost going to segue when you were talking about the Switch 2, didn't have as many stutters, which leads me to American Truck Simulator. I don't know, Greg, if you've had a chance to even get on it with your knee and all that, but the 1.55 update came up, and they changed the way that the scenery loads. And now I'm not on the highest end system, but almost all of the stutters are gone. The little micro stutters that would happen, you drive into a town and it's loading stuff in and you get these stutters. they fixed most of that. People with a beefier system than mine, it's running really good. But yeah, the other thing regarding American Truck Simulator is Thursday, the 10th. Iowa comes out this week, so be on the lookout for that. Anyone that drives American Truck Simulator, the newest state is coming out this week. So it'll be Iowa. And they also announced, I don't remember if it was last week or the week before, but definitely after our last show. Of course, Iowa comes out this week, and then the next state's going to be Louisiana. And then after that, it's going to be Illinois, which they had already announced. And what they announced now is the state after Illinois is going to be South Dakota. So they're going to kind of backtrack and fill in after. I know why they want to get Illinois out, because they want to have Route 66 from Chicago to LA. So they want to get Illinois before. So it looks like they're going to backtrack and get the Dakotas, Minnesota, Wisconsin, stuff like that to fill in back from west to east. But yeah, they're Iowa comes out the 1.55. I'm liking it so far, and it seems to be working good. Joker's asking, look, Derek says, I want to drive too. For months I've been saying, Derek, when are you going to drive again? I'm just getting that crap off the screen. Did they fix the railroad crossing issue? Which issue is that? I never had any trouble with railroad crossings, other than when I had a mod going. I had a mod going, and I was having railroad crossings. If that's what you're talking about, Joker, that's awesome that you saw that in my video, because I would have to end up going around the railroad crossing because the arms would never come back up. And one time I did that, and the train was coming, and I kind of got in a wreck. But that was because of a mod on my side. Surely the most exciting state to drive across, Iowa. No, I would say, I don't know. I've had a lot of experience driving across Kansas from one side to the other, and that's a long drive of not a whole lot of stuff. But I really do like I like Kansas, though. Kansas and Nebraska are two of my favorite states to drive in. And of course, lately it's been mostly Arkansas and Missouri that I've been driving in, because they're the newest states. But yeah. Oh, okay. So I guess Joker was talking about mine. Yeah, that was a mod. There was a mod that was causing that problem. The trains would go by and the arms would never go up. But yeah, so like I said, I don't know if Gideon's still here. I know it's really, really late at his place, so he might have just popped in and popped back out. But he likes the truck sim stuff. So I wanted to sneak that in, hoping that Gideon was here. But so anyway, Mike, how has your month been since the last show?
Oh, busy. Like I said, I've been working on my other video, getting that done. And then currently I'm kind of working on getting my new computer worked on. So I have the parts in my movie/game room that I'm doing my build at right now. I actually got a picture of it. Maybe I can share it here. I'll have to give it to you, Bart, then you can display it. So pop it in first.
Remind me one day to tell you guys my story about driving across Saskatchewan. Sounds exciting. I imagine it could be.
There we go. I got it.
Okay, let's see. Add to the scene. Where did it go? Where did it go? Here it is.
Yeah, so those are all my parts. I finally got the CPU cooler, which is a liquid, and then the last thing I was missing was the RAM. So I finally got a Corsair RAM for my case. The Y70, that's a height. So anybody's wondering what kind of case that is, that's a fish tank case. Literally, it looks like a fish tank. And yes,
nice.
there is a monitor that's on there, so you can have your little fishy give you like the temperature and how hot it is outside and stuff. I mean, you can customize it to whatever you want, which I'm excited to do. And right now, I'm kind of working on the motherboard on the PC, so I'm getting that set up, and then I'll start putting the parts in today. Probably after the show's done, I'm going to work on that PC, and it's going to be my new rig to do video editing, since my old computer here kind of struggles with 4K rendering. I have to kind of wait for it to get done before I can, work on my. That's why it takes so long to work on my videos. But this should be a beast to get that done.
Wow.
So, yeah, I finally got all the parts in. The only thing is, I'll probably need to get a better graphics card in the future. I just bought something that'll work for the 4K images for now, and then I want to get another 64 gig bit of RAM, so that way my system is 128 gigabytes of RAM. So right now it's got 64.
What GPU is that?
The Ryzen, I think it's a Ryzen 9 that I got.
Okay.
So this, I think it's a 7150X. So it's one of the better ones. So I got that with my MSI motherboard right there. So yeah, when I was setting up the build, I was kind of thinking like, should I get Intel this time or AMD? And then when I heard Intel's having a bunch of problems, that's when I switched back to AMD. I'm more familiar with AMD anyway, since that's always been on my computer builds, not Intel.
Yeah, me too. I haven't had an Intel processor in years. Years, and by years I mean like maybe my first computer I ever built.
Yeah.
What video card?
It's a GeForce RTX 3060.
3060.
Yeah, and it's got 12 gigabytes of, what was that, the VRAM. So VRAM is really important when you're doing video editing. My son's got that on his PC, and it's actually not a bad price to get. I think it was like $300 to get that graphics card compared to what I wanted, which would have costed like $1,000. So I need to save up a bit to get that graphics card.
I was going to say, Mike, I just got an ad the other day on my email. I got an ad that Amazon on Prime Day was going to have a 5090 card for just $3,399. I figured I still got Greg's credit card. I could get it both one. Yeah, I showed Kelly. I said, "Hey, I should get one of these 5090 cards. They're on sale." And then I showed her the price. And then after she came to, I was like, I didn't really order it. 30. That was the sale price. $3,400.
Wow.
For a 5090 card.
Yeah.
But it'd be nice to have a 5090 card, but that's not my future. Well, it's in my future, probably in 2030, when they get down to $300. But yeah, I'm always a couple years behind whenever I buy a graphics card. It's because the new stuff is so expensive.
Oh yeah.
And right now, I think is a good time to jump into the 30 series cards because the 50s came out. So now, you can get 30s much cheaper. But yeah, it has been a long time. I know that one of the first computers I built was a 486 DX 280, and that thing had a monster. I had 4 megabytes of RAM. It was just smoking. I had an 80 megabyte hard drive in that thing. Oh, huge, 80 megabytes. It was like, you know how many floppies this thing holds? But and almost every computer after that, I was buying AMD chips because you can usually find just as much performance for much lower price. By going AMD, and sometimes in some applications the AMD way outperforms the Intel chip. In other applications, to be fair, Intel chips do very well. But yeah, sure, Mike. We're on my we'll have Derek make a whole Discord channel. Greg's credit card, and we'll do a raffle every week. We'll draw someone's name, and see, Greg's fine with it, right?
Right.
Full agreement.
Well, that's exciting stuff, though, Mike. I'm happy for you to get that computer. That's going to be nice to get going.
Oh yeah.
That's really awesome.
So, if you don't mind asking, so what would you say roughly you'll have invested in the whole thing by the time you get done?
For what now? Greg?
What would you say roughly you'd have invested once you have the whole thing done?
Oh geez. I think my build's like almost like a $2,000 build. But I've been buying parts here and there. I mean,
Well, yeah, you've been doing it over a period of time.
Yeah, it's an expensive build, especially getting the Y70. That's really hard to come by. A lot of people want that case, especially me. When I saw it, it's like, dude, that looks so freaking awesome. But it's on specialty order, so I put my name on the waiting list, and then when it popped in, I ordered it immediately so I can get it. So that was like the hardest thing to get, was that the computer case for my system.
Yeah. It's always fun. It's always fun doing a new build.
Oh yeah.
Frustrating sometimes, but then when you get it going, of course, I'm always the worst part for me is you get it all built, put together, and then that first time you're booting up and you're like, man, what kind of Windows errors am I going to get, or what driver will I not be able to find, or some silly little thing. You're like, everything's working great, but the freaking USB port isn't reading right. Yeah. Something small. But
yep. Something's not connected right in there. So then you have to pull it out, dig all through the wires. Like, oh, here it is.
Oh, yeah, it's this one. Yeah.
The pinball cabinet I built, I went to Micro Center and I bought a computer already built and brought it home. And I didn't have the cabinet built yet, but I had all the monitor and everything set up to run it. And I went ahead and put it up. I had it laid out on a spare bed in the bedroom we got, and it just wouldn't run even FX3. And I took it back to the guy and I said, "You said this thing would work." I showed him Steam's minimum requirements for it, and he said this would work great. And what didn't? So I took it back, got my money back, and I went over to the desk where they sell you parts, and gave it to the kid that worked back there, a pretty smart kid, and he told me this is all you need. He started laying the parts out there, and it was about only $100 more than what the one I already bought that I paid for. But my big thing, you kind of cracked me up when you talked about worries, Bart. I was watching videos and trying to read manuals, and there were some things like you had to look really close at, like, was it plugged in this way? Or did you turn it 90 degrees and plug it in that way? They weren't keyed. And so I'll never forget when I first plugged it in, I got everything in, put it all together, picked everything in. And when I first plugged it in, I did that arm's length at the electrical outlet. I just went, and I plugged it in, and I said, nothing exploded. And then I turned it on, and it booted, and it started asking for my information. Everything ran perfect on it. I mean, nice. So I know what you're talking about, though. When you build one the first time, what is gonna happen now?
Yeah. Double check, triple check, quadruple check all the connections and all that stuff.
Yep.
And you're still like, what's happening? Yeah. But I've never bought a store-bought computer other than the laptop since I've been building my own. Since I built that first one, I've never bought a complete computer. It's just much more cost effective, and I'm cheap by nature. So
and you get the parts you want for it to make it look like you want.
Yeah. So it's always fun, but talk about and I know I've told the story before, and it's not PC related, but that nerve-wracking of the first time you turn something on. I always go back to my original Xbox we bought for the boys when they were back in school, and the first Xbox came out, and then I bought that mod chip that you had to solder onto the motherboard, put her all together. I pushed that power button and nothing happened. I'm like, oh shit. And it just turned out, luckily it was two two of the little connections that didn't really cause any damage had bridged when I soldered it. Still to this day, the worst soldering job I had to do as far as difficulty.
Yeah.
And I sucked that solder. I could see where it bridged. Sucked it off, resoldered the 2 points, made sure everything was clean, fired right up. Mod chip worked great. But yeah,
nice.
my ex-wife at the time, she was like, already like, are you serious? You're taking a soldering gun to that freaking Xbox we just bought the kids for Christmas? I'm like, it'll be fine. I turned it on and nothing. But
well, that's funny you did that. I actually had my my Sega Dreamcast worked on because I bought it at a retro game store, and the guy had already changed out like the CD drive that's into it, a lot of the internal parts. So it's a refurbished system. So, but when I got home, I'm like, what the hell? So I set up the date, time, and stuff. And then when I turned it off, turned it back on, it did the same thing. I'm like, oh, there's something wrong with the battery. So it's got a 2032 that's inside that system. So I popped it open and like, I'll just replace the battery, and like, oh, dang it, it's soldered in here. So I called up the retro store and talked to him about it. And the guy's like, nope, just bring it in. I got a soldering gun. I'll take care of it for free for you. So he said I should have taken care of that because it's, it's a rebuilt system that he put new parts in it. It's the black Dreamcast. So I brought it over there. He had his soldering stuff, took that out, put the new for the battery to go in the 2032. It's the watch battery. He's like, there. So if that battery dies, you can just, take that out, pop in a new one, and you're good to go. Like, sweet.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, look at who's here.
Oh.
Look who decides to show up at minute 42.
And I have my fan on, so I'm muting myself so you don't hear it. Sounds like a lawnmower in the same room as me here.
Nice.
Oh, you can just leave the mute on. It's fine. How's it going, Poe? Good to see you.
Yeah, good. It's 100 degrees in here right now, so that
Oh, I'm down to 85. I'm down to 85.
Oh, nice.
It's nice and cool in here now.
Yeah, I hadn't planned on, didn't think I'd make it, so I didn't bother cooling it off in here till just now. So.
Nice. Yeah.
But my wife and son are out doing some things, so I figured why not pop on.
Well, nice. Yeah. We never even really got around to explaining why you weren't here. But nobody asked, so we figured no one really cared. So.
Right.
But, yeah, you got a lot of family stuff going on. We know that. You got someone's birthday is tomorrow, right?
Yeah, my birthday's tomorrow, and my mom's is on the 10th.
Yeah.
So they had 2 ice cream cakes from Dairy Queen up there, one for my mom and one for me.
Ah,
Nice. You see, you could have cut yourself a piece of each of those cakes and cut one of the piece in half, put it underneath each armpit, but the other one in your britches. You'd be nice and cool right now.
Yeah, she got both of those cakes. They cut both of them because my brother and his wife and one of his sons showed up. My sister and my brother-in-law came, and my other brother was there. And then me and my wife and my daughter showed up with her boyfriend, and my son came back home on leave last night.
yeah.
So with
Nice.
a crowded little house there, my parents have everybody in there. So they decided to get 2 cakes, and then they wanted to give us some leftovers to bring home. But I mean, the zillion degrees in the car. We attempted to. I don't know if they might just be liquid now, in the freezer.
Yeah. Just put them in a cup with a straw. It's a milkshake by the time you get it. Well, that's good. That's fun.
I think that's cool that Davey got to come home and, what'd you say? It's been a year and a half?
Yeah, 15 months. He left for basic and both of his tech schools, and his second tech school is where his actual base is. So he's been there ever since. We went to see him in Texas last May after his graduation from basic, and then we went to see him in the state of Washington out near Mike there, where he's stationed for Thanksgiving, but we hadn't seen him since. So yeah, he finally made it back. And like the true military form, he put in for this in like April, and they didn't tell him until the middle of the week, okay, you're good to go. So we didn't know. We got his tickets back in April, and we were just hoping we didn't have to eat the price of those plane tickets. So
Wow.
luckily,
See, mine was always the opposite. The whole time I was in, once I got to my permanent duty station, because I was part of an air crew, so we got assigned when you could take your leave, because you had to go when your crew went. You couldn't just go and then the crew wasn't complete. So we'd get back from deployment, and you'd always they'd say, okay, these crews go this week, these crews go. And then sometime during that home cycle, they'd say, yeah, so you might be all of a sudden, they just tell you, okay, you're going to have leave September, the first 2 weeks of September. You can take, 10 days in that period. So we, I would always take the leave right after we got back from deployment and leave right before we went on deployment. And I skipped the mid home cycle leave. So when I got out, I sold like 60 days back to the Navy.
oh, nice.
I just never got around to using it. But,
Yeah, you had 60 days. You know how many days I saved in the Navy? It's about 6 months worth of leave.
really?
So I hardly, because it's like it's not worth it to go home because I lived all the way in Gulfport, Mississippi. It's like traveling back to Washington, and my folks are like, "Yeah, just save it for next time." And it's like, oh, okay. So sometimes I'd go home, but not often. And
Yeah.
usually, if I did, I would like to save a whole month to go on deployment and stay with my my mom, and then come back, because that's a good rest. Not like 2 weeks. It's like, where have I been? It's just like you're in and out of your parents' home and then back into the service again. So yeah, a month.
Yeah, I would do a month at a time, but I was already married, so my wife would fly back home like the month before, and she worked on base at one of the little food places, but they would give her the time off a couple months in the summertime. So she would fly back, and then I would drive back at the beginning of July, and we would stay here until the beginning of August and drive back again.
Nice.
Yeah. Now I got pretty little. It was not leave, but most of my family's up near Philadelphia, and one of the officers in our squadron was getting married, and the wedding was up just outside of Philadelphia. So of course, since he's an officer, they talked him into letting him fly a P3 up to Philly. They made up some excuse to take the plane, but a bunch of the other officers were in the wedding and stuff like that, but they needed a radar operator. So I'm like, I'll go. So I got to fly up there and go visit with my grandparents and aunts and uncles while the wedding was happening. So I spent like 5 days in Philly while they were doing the wedding, and I just got a free trip up there to visit my family. So that was kind of cool.
Nice.
Of course, my ex and the kids, well, Travis was the only son at that point. He didn't get to go, and Lisa didn't get to go, but I didn't care. I was probably ready to get away. She was probably ready for me to get away too, but it was a little freebie. But yeah, I would only get to take 10 days at a time, and they were prescribed in a 2-week period. And yeah, I never had an option to take it. And like you, Mike, I was stationed in Florida, and my immediate family were in Arizona.
Yeah.
It's like 10 days, you could fly and go back, but I was also poor. I'm like an E3 with a wife and a kid. I don't have that kind of plane fare. So a lot of times I'm just like, if I took leave, I'd take 3 or 4 days of my 10-day possibility and just hang out at the house, go to the beach in Florida. But yeah, so that's cool though. He's getting to take some time off, come back and hang out at the house. Hey, Salvatore's here. Good to see you. Good to see you,
Hey.
Salvatore.
Hey, Bart,
Yeah, and we actually talked about taking a trip to Virginia Beach or Myrtle this week since it's my vacation week, but the wife said it looks like there's going to be some bad storms rolling through both areas this week. So probably just hang out here, unless we head up to Erie. They have that nice arcade and stuff up there. We might do that.
Nice.
Cool.
Hey, Bart, I was going to ask, I want to jump in here and say real quick, this is the first time I've been down to this office since I had all this stuff. I haven't sat in this chair, and I'm dying. So I'm going to have to get here pretty quick. I didn't think about I have to either sit with my feet. I can't sit too long. I can't stand too long. I can't do anything too long. And I can feel all the blood rush into my feet. My feet feel like they're size 17s.
Yeah. Well,
Hey, Greg, did you need to pass something down? Weren't you going to say something about wanting to pass something down about the challenge or something before you go?
Oh, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I was going to ask Bart if I could just jump in and talk about the pinball, what we've done with pinball, and where I'm going with it for the next month. And then I'll leave it to you guys. I apologize. I wanted to stay the whole show tonight, but it's driving me nuts. I can't feel my feet. So,
All right, yeah, sure. Here, let me pull up the.
Yeah, I put the screen up for you, and you know, we did Epic Quest on FX3. You can see the scores there. Java, which you guys remind me who Java is. I know he's one of our regulars here. I just can't remember.
Yeah, he lives overseas.
Oh, okay.
He's also overseas. He does a lot of pinball stuff. He's really good. If you go to the Zaccaria leaderboards, he's up there pretty high on a lot of those. He's a good pinball player.
Yeah, I've seen him in here before, but you can see he did 17,206,000 with Derek. 16,752,000, great score. I managed to pull out 11,014, which I don't even know how I did that. I don't know. I just got lucky. Kaos, look at you go, Kaos. 10,900,000. Off Grid came in with 9,600,000, and the Super Chaos came in with 5,552,000. So there's our results from the one that ran it a whole month. Now, if you look there, there's 6 people, and one of them's a 2-time player. So there's 5 different people actually playing, which I don't care. You know, I've done that before. I've played on my one device and on another device or a different account, and that doesn't bother me as long as I know who you are. It doesn't matter to me because it doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. I'm trying to think of the proper words for that. But so anyway, and here's the problem with these tournaments now is the fact is even with the Switch 2 coming out, they're not allowing us to play cross-platform with the Switch, you know, which we've talked about that here before. So I think I've actually already started a tournament for this week, and I'm going to do them a week. It seems like a month is too long. That's just my guess on what's going on here. You know, a month, nobody's going to play. I'll just wait till the last day or whatever. So I'm going to change them to a week. I've got one. They're actually going to be 6 days. There's one going right now. It's Tomb Raider, Lara Croft Tomb Raider. The code on it is so dadgum long, I'm not even going to try to give it to you. Bart can talk about it later after I leave if he wants to. But you just favorite the game in your place, and you know, on your console or whatever you're playing on. You favorite the game, and then sort them, filter them by favorite, and it'll pop up. So, and the password is G Parker, GPARKER, all lowercase. So there you go. It's running for 6 days. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to set it up every Sunday. I'm going to put it up a new table for 4 weeks. And I'm going to keep track of the scores and kind of do it like Bart and I did with our other tournaments that we're setting up, our longer tournaments. If you get first place, you're going to get so many points. Second, third, fourth, you're going to get so many points. And then if you play every week, you get at least a point. And I'm just going to keep track on a spreadsheet, and we'll see how we do it at the end of the month. So, so you want to play all 4 if you can. It's good. The only thing is I'm going to go with FX, Pinball FX, and you're going to have to play on a PC or Xbox or PlayStation. I think all those are cross-platforming. So the only other thing I'm going to ask people to do is if you look at the Discord, I put this up. There's Pinball Chat. There's Pinball Side Tourneys. And then there's Pinball, the main tourney. Well, hey, I love seeing everybody talk about pinball in the Discord, so I don't want to discourage that. So all the information I'm going to put up is going to be on what they call on Derek's got set up the main pinball tourney. I'm going to set that up on there. That I'd rather you not put any of your, that will be where people can go to get information about the tournament. If you have a question about the tournament, post it there. But we're not going to post a bunch of stuff about other pinball. It's going to be exclusively about this tournament. So the stuff didn't get hit. So there you go. Pinball FX on, like I say, not on the Switch. G Parker is the password, all lowercase, and it's Laura Croft Tomb Raider. And for a week, 6 days. And so next Sunday, I'll do one for 6 days, and then by next month, I'll have a winner and a winner chicken dinner. There you go. So that's really all I've got to say about it.
It's the Adventures of Laura Croft too, right? Not the mansion.
Right, not the mansion, right. Okay. And just to give you a heads up, I figured they were the newest ones to come out, and it looked like a lot of people in our group have bought them. I'll give you a heads up. Next week will be the mansion. So I've already made the decision for next week. And then next week, then I'll let you know what the next one's going to be. I'll probably do a video on that. So, any questions from you guys or anybody in the chat? And again, I apologize to people for the switch. And all I can say is call Zen Studios and ask to talk to Lars and tell him you're tired of this shit and not being able to be included in these tournaments. Because I don't see what the difference is unless you got to have something mentally wrong with you to think that it's that big a deal that you're playing on a different type of, it's not fair. Well, nothing's fair in this world. That's just the way it is. If you don't like it, I'll send a bunker buster over to you. How's that?
Sounds good. So it's going to be like a mini 4-week tournament, like we used to do the 10-weekers.
Yeah.
And then it's same as always, bragging rights. Don't expect that you're going to get a big prize at the end, unless you get in on that Discord channel where we're all doing the drawings for things to be bought on Greg's credit card.
Yeah, there you go.
But the tournament, yeah. So
yeah, I just thought I'd mix it up a little bit and see what we can do. And in the meantime, for guys like Kaos and stuff, keep an eye out. I may get bored, and I'll set up some FX3 tournaments. And it might because that's the nice thing is I can go to the Switch and set up another tournament. And I'll say something. I don't know if Rick's here. Is Kaos here tonight? I don't know. But
he was earlier. Yeah.
Kaos is always setting up tournaments on his channel, and you can find Kaos's tournaments on FX3 all the time. So I've been jumping in on his. So, everybody can. There's enough there for everybody to get involved and play something.
Nice. Yeah.
Thanks, G Parker. Go get comfortable. I appreciate it, Joker. I'm gonna go be the Batman. I'll be the Batman. I'm gonna go upstairs and be the Batman. Hang upside down.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say, Greg, when you were saying that, you can't sit long, you can't stand long, you can't do anything long. Cheryl told us about that when we were up there to visit.
I know.
Can't do anything long. So,
that's funny. It brought that up. I was talking to a buddy of mine just today, and I told him, I said, my 69th birthday's coming up. And he says, you know what your wife's got to get you on your 69th birthday, don't you? I'll just leave it at that. Y'all have a good night. You guys awesome. Take care. Sorry I couldn't stay longer, but I'm sure these 3 guys will keep you entertained for a while.
All right. Take it easy, Greg. Go rest late.
Take care, guys. Bye now.
All right.
Oh,
look, we got widescreen Poe.
Widescreen Poe.
For this wide body.
Well, Greg's still right there over your shoulder, so that's all right. Best birthday ever. Nice. Well, if that's the way that works, you know how they say, like with women, they say 29 forever? Screw that 29. I'm waiting for 69. Then it's the rest of the life. 69 forever, baby. Yeah. So, what else we got going on? Mike, you have a video for tonight, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's an indie game.
Indie game. Poe's been playing indie games for a month now. Oh, not that indie. Wrong indie. Wrong indie. All right. Do you want to talk about it first, or run the video, or what do you want to do?
I can talk about it a little bit first. I mean, it's a game I kind of stumbled across while I was like venturing the dark web, and I wish I hadn't played it because there's a lots of wrong things, and I can't unsee anymore. But it's just the 10-minute video, and then as soon as the show's over, I will unlock the full length video because there's 2 endings to the game on coin ops and consoles, so I'll dump it there when it's excuse that, I mean I'll whip it out there when this is done. So yeah.
Excuse me, you are. Nice. All right. So run it. Play it.
Run it.
All right, here we go.
All right, everyone, we're going to be playing some Gym or Jail. It's an indie way game. I've never played it before, so hopefully this is good. I hope it doesn't scare the piss out of me. That'd suck. Oh, look at this sexy beast right here. All right, I'm going to be playing this for Coin Ops and Consoles, aka the show. Let's start. All right. E to interact. Nice. Okay, let's go. All right, here we go. I guess I'll figure it out. This is exercise room. That's where we want to go. We want to work out. Gotta work out. Let's check out the gym. Oh! Dude! Damn, guy, you are working out. Look at that. Look at that. Alright. Oh, gotta go over there. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice. Just one hand, though? Bro, you need to work out the other hand.
That's all you need for jail.
Alright, let's check myself out in the mirror. Oh boy.
That's hilarious.
Right. We go home now. Got tacos, protein food, ice cream and sweets. Something you shouldn't be eating at a gym. Got some sushi and some pizza, of course. Lots of carbohydrates. Dude. I think you literally got everything off the menu. Hey, you know that's not healthy, right?
They used me for a motion cap without my permission.
Did you come to the gym just to sit and eat all day? Oh, you gotta be that way, huh?
Wow.
Week 2. Damn, man, that was some high quality stuff. Alright, let's work out again. What the hell? Was there some dude checking me out? Bro.
That dude's still going.
Nice. Come on. Do it. Oh, bro. Just farted. That's it? 2? Here we go. Oh boy. Oh boy. Did we just ruin the machine? It was already broke? No. Yeah, that's not my fault. Here we go. Whoa. Don't look at him. Don't look at him. What the? Did you just jump over that? Okay, I'm done. I should take a picture of myself now. Alright, sounds good. Nice! Look at me!
Nice.
Nice. Bro, the whole pizza, not a slice? Alright. E to E. A strange man is offering you some drugs. Would you like to accept it? Bro, I don't do drugs. Oh.
Where's Nancy
he's not
Reagan?
happy. Okay. Oh, why are you coming here? Dude, this is making me uncomfortable. I'm leaving. Yeah, time to hit the shower.
You guys been eyeballing you? You're going to the shower?
Ah, nice. Nice shower is gonna help.
There isn't a hole in that shower stall, is there?
What the?
That shower stall's not Nebraska, is it?
I'm afraid to check.
There's T.
Bro.
Parker. He's mopping the floor.
Oh, man. The water doesn't seem to be hot enough. I should go to the warehouse with just the water pipes. Alright, here we go. Bro! I think that's too much. Oh, that doesn't sound good. Whoa, bro! Oh.
Greg's still mopping. He don't care.
He is not. Oh, what the hell? Bro!
You made me very angry.
Oh. Okay, he's a demon? Oh, man. I didn't mean to hurt this guy. Hey, you okay? Oh, better leave. What? Dude, the janitor didn't do anything to anybody. Oh,
T.
man.
Parker got impaled.
Okay, how do I get out of here? Oh. Killed this guy too. Okay. Okay.
Nice picture.
Get out of here. Oh crap. What the hell?
Hey, slip on a banana.
After Giga died, he was sleeping on a banana. And arrested you for killing 4 people at the jail. So you went to jail?
Wow.
I don't remember leaving a banana on the floor. Oh, that's crazy.
He said that was called resident anal. Is that what?
REP for G Parker.
That's hilarious. I like how they went full Flintstones or whatever when he was running at you. Flips on a banana peel. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, and then when I'm sitting like this, my shirt changes all its meaning.
I think that game's like free. You don't have to pay anything for it, so that's a good deal.
Yeah, it's priced right.
Yeah, and there's like I said, there's a second ending to the game, so it's involves with you taking the drugs and probably not wanting to know what happened to you.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Think Pulp Fiction, but I'll leave it at that.
Oh. Go get the gimp. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah. Very entertaining, though. That was funny. Oh. So, yeah, go to check out the Coin Ops and Consoles channel. We want to see the rest of that video that Mike did. You're going to put it up live, make it live right after the show?
I'll just, what do you call it? Like post it public because it's the long form. Yep.
Nice. Excellent. So, what have you been up to besides working and now getting some time off? Got anything exciting you've been doing?
No, well, a little bit of VR. All right. Played a little bit of that Titanic game. And I haven't gotten back to it yet, so I'm hoping it's saved because I saw some people saying that the game didn't save for them and they'd have to start all over again.
Oh, that's not good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A few bugs. Yeah, my daughter, her boyfriend, they like when I play the scary VR games. So he mentioned that game to me. So I looked it up and it was on sale for $10. I'm like, okay. So I didn't read the reviews until after the fact. And there were people saying, yeah, it's got some bugs, some glitches in there. And I noticed that sometimes, I'm trying to grab a shovel or something and not grabbing it. I got stuck on the one door in the one room and I couldn't get back out of the cabin.
Right.
So there were a few things that were a little frustrating. And even knowing exactly where to go or what to do, got a little turned around there. But it's really cool being on the Titanic like that, seeing the floor down below you flooded and the gates across the stairways and stuff like that.
Oh, nice.
So really neat. But in looking that one up, I saw that PS5 is getting an Escape the Titanic game next year. It looks really good, but I don't think it's VR. But it looks really good. I'd have to check that.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. It was funny when you were looking for the key for that lock right before the end of the video, and you got that hammer. I completely forgot about that thin glass. Go break the glass, and then right around the corner. And about the time you were like, "Oh, yeah, that glass," I was like, "Oh, shoot, yeah, that glass." And Kelly was like, "What a weird place to keep that key."
Right, right out there for anybody except for me, since I forgot about it. So I'm going around, and I'm like, the hammer said something like G7 or something on it. I'm like, there's no room G7. I'm knocking on doors with crap, trying to get the doors open.
Yeah. And that's the problem sometimes with some of those games is just trying to figure out not how to do it, but what you need to do. You're just like,
right.
I'm running around. You're hitting that lock with everything you could find. And it's like, yeah. But it looks interesting. But be curious. Hopefully it does continue for you and you don't have to start over every time.
Yeah, because I would like to get into that. Finish it for them, because I did start that other one. Oh, what the heck was it called? That was over a year ago on the PS VR2, and good scary game. But when we went to visit my son and everything in Texas, I stopped playing right then, and then I never picked it up again over a year later. And they were mad because they wanted me to finish that game. Like, well, you guys were the only two watching it. Not that anybody's watching any of my other videos, but I mean, they were the only two.
Yeah. And I saw something just the other day, and now I cannot remember for the life of me. They talked about another horror VR game that's supposed to be coming out here in the next couple months. It looked really good, but and then there was one horror VR game that's multiplayer, and one person's playing the ghost, and it's kind of like a horror. I equated it to kind of like the Among Us, because the other people that are not the ghost have to go and do certain tasks and avoid the ghost at the same time in this haunted house. It looks pretty cool if you had 3 or 4 people to play it with, but I can't remember what it's called. I think it comes out in September.
The old Friday the 13th game and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre game. Those kind of games. Really cool. The Alien one, or Predator one. I'm sorry, Predator. I bought all those. The problem is sometimes with some of them, they shut down the servers after a few years, and then you can't play with your buddies anymore.
Yeah.
I think the latest one was last year. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space one came out, and I almost bought it. And I'm like, I bought all these other ones, and then when my friends stopped playing, I stopped playing them. You go back a few years later, and you can't play them anymore.
Yeah. Did you see that, Poe? There's like some sort of thing going around, like people are signing it for Keep the Games Alive. Did you see that? So that way, like games that have servers on it, right? Or when they get shut down, you should still be able to play that game like in a single player mode, or maybe like multiplayer at your home. Like have another buddy, so that way you can play. Because that's kind of sucky. You bought the game, and then all of a sudden
something like Friday the 13th. You want a solo experience with that anyway, in case something like that happens.
Yeah. Or like multiplayer, right? At home, or just a landline party, so that way you can keep it going.
Right.
So they're trying to introduce that. So it's like stop killing the game or something. It's like a bill that they're trying to pass to the companies out there. They
have really cool ideas, really cool themes, and things that people have been wanting for years, like Killer Clowns, Jason Voorhees. Evil Dead was the other one.
Yeah.
Where you fight the Deadites and you have good guy and bad guy, stuff like that. But they come out and you probably only got a couple years to play this thing. And another problem with those, you go on and play with strangers, like anything else, they're playing it 7 days a week, and you get to play once a month. You go on and they just destroy your ass the first 5 seconds of the game.
Yeah.
You'd rather have a single player campaign where you could play with Jason chasing you around, right? Or you're Jason chasing the counselor. But in VR, with a group like us, I think that would be really fun.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's kind of like, and then the other thing you run into, not necessarily with those horror type, but if you're playing like the shooter games and stuff where you're playing teams on team, it sounds all awesome. Let's play 4-on-4 multiplayer where you got a squad and capture the flag. And then some chucklehead you don't know is on your team and he's shooting you in the back. Hanging out at the spawn point, just killing all of his own teammates. And you're like, oh, this sucks. So it's much better if you can get in with people you know. But it does suck when they shut down the servers and suddenly you got a game that you can't access anymore because they shut down the server. But I don't know. Speaking of multiplayer, they did have the new Walkabout mini golf course came out, the Crystal Lair.
Oh,
Kelly and I played it. It's a pretty interesting course the way they got that set up. We haven't played the hard level yet, but we played through the original, the easy version, whatever, daytime version, and I got all the hidden balls and stuff. But it's a really fun course. I liked it. Kelly was whooping me for the front nine, and then she had one bad hole and couldn't recover from it. I snuck ahead of her, but it was a close game. And what else? Oh, and then we've been playing that. What's that game we played the other day, Mike? That we were shooting the zombies. After the fall.
After the fall. Yep.
Yeah. That was. That's a fun game. I'm liking that. And It's been around for a little while, but the devs are still working on it. They just put a mod out, I think not that long, or not a mod, but they updated it not that far before we started playing it. Because some of the things, I saw a video where they said, hey, here's some new stuff for after the fall. And it was stuff that we had access to when we were playing it.
Nice.
So I was like, oh, so they're still doing that. And Kelly and I started playing the other day, Green Hell. I bought that game probably a year ago, because they said they were going to bring out multiplayer at some point. Well, the multiplayer came out, and I don't know when, but it's out now. And that is a hard survival game where we got killed before we even got to a point where we could save the game. And I do have a problem with that. Green Hell does give me motion sickness, though. It's a tough one. You can do teleport mode if you don't want to run, but I was not feeling well, because I was an idiot, though. I started not feeling well. I kept going instead of being like, no, stop right now.
Yeah.
I kept going. I felt rough for like 3 hours after I took it off. I'm like, man, I still don't feel good. But It looks amazing. It's a lot of fun. Kelly was having a blast with it. And but yeah, you're starting from scratch, and you gotta chop down trees to get sticks and logs and all that stuff. And first, you gotta even find a way to chop down the trees. Find a stick in a rock and make it into a little rudimentary axe and all that stuff. And we were playing. We didn't start on the easy level. We started on like what would be level 3, the normal mode.
Oh, okay.
And so you could get killed by a lot of different stuff. And we found some of it very, very quickly. But it's an awesome game, and it looks amazing.
Yeah. I like that teleport feature on, like, especially for that, we call it After the Fall video game.
Yeah.
I noticed people are moving about, but I know for me, there's people out here that probably get affected by motion sickness, but I know I do. So that helped when we were playing that game. I just teleported. But it was kind of funny when I did watch Poe's video on it. It shows me like walking normal, but that's not how I see it. I'm like just teleporting. I'm like, I'm just walking normally on screen.
Couldn't tell. Right.
Yeah.
From our side, you looked like you were just walking.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell the teleportation, which is kind of cool. You didn't see someone all of a sudden.
Like the Flash.
Yeah. Yeah, they're Kelly, damn spider. She's Green Hell. Spiders, scorpions, snakes, all kinds of stuff will get you.
Nice.
But yeah, so we've been playing a lot of VR around the house again. We got renewed with the VR, and I think, didn't you say your boy's been playing some VR?
Yeah, he's been playing most of it. Like I remember when I told him, well, we might be playing. Hey, Casey, we might be playing, and then he said, okay, I'll give it back to you, Dad. And then I said, well, if nobody's wanting to play, you can borrow the VR. And then he's been playing. I don't know what he's playing. It looks like some sort of building game, because he's into Minecraft and stuff. So he hasn't told me what he's playing, but it looks interesting. I did see a YouTube video on it where this guy's like crafting stuff. And I'm not sure. It kind of reminded me of like a survival horror type of game, but I didn't watch too far into it before letting him play with the game and stuff. So yeah, he's been enjoying the VR, but he has it hooked up to his PC. So I guess the PC's helping with the graphics.
Yeah,
I haven't tried putting playing it on PC, but he said it looks a lot better. So have you did that, Bart? Hooked up to your computer and seen the difference? Yeah,
because you're playing, as long as your video card can handle it, because it is kind of taxing on your system. But you're playing a PC game, has a lot more horsepower than the Quest. As a matter of fact, now that Shelby got me the Quest 3, and basically Kelly started using the Quest 2 that I was using because it had more storage space. So now the Quest 2 that she used to use is now in here.
Yeah.
So I can play PC VR in here because
Oh, nice.
this one only has 64 gig of space, but you don't need the space. The computer holds the game. So, oh, look at Casey likes. I got this. Poe got me this shirt, and when Poe pisses me off, I cover the F. But yeah, Poe got me this shirt a couple years ago. It's a fantastic shirt. But
I was cracking up on when we were playing that VR horror game with the zombies and stuff, and then of course you don't hear us talking when you're watching Poe's video.
Right.
And I saw the comments I saw on Television Gamer Casey. He commented something about Mike, like Mike, because you can't hear me. It looks like I'm not doing anything. I'm just staring out into the void, and I'm just trying to mess with my settings so I can hear you or talk.
I was trying to give you your syringe back, and I'm like holding it up, just dropping it. Then I act like I'm sticking it in my arm and sticking it in your belly.
Yeah. That's a fun game, though. I really like that.
I had a ton of fun with that. I wish we could have played again. We just got busy here. Just like now, out of nowhere, now my daughter stopped by to visit again. I wasn't expecting her. That's why I just went off here.
Yeah.
But it's perfect timing for us to be on here because they're going for a family walk with the dog. So they can deal with that. I'll sit right here.
Yeah. And Derek, you should try PC VR. It's pretty cool. I always use it wired with a USB cord, or I bought Virtual Desktop, where it works better than the Meta's app. But if you're playing Steam games, you have to use the Meta app if you want to do it wired. But I'll tell you one thing, Zachary Pinball, and I've said it in videos before, last week during the sale, I don't know if it's still going, I think it goes till the 10th. Zachary Pinball, the VR mod is $5 right now, and if you buy that mod, you can every table you own, you automatically get the VR version. So you just load up the game in VR mode, put your headset on, and it's in VR. So it's pretty, as you found out, Bo, playing pinball in VR is a whole different critter.
Yeah, I'm gonna play it even more.
When you're playing pinball in VR on PC VR, and you have a table like this, I stand at the table and I use the buttons to play pinball. So I can feel the actual table and all that. The problem is I end up trying to nudge, and then Elvira falls off the top.
One of the things I don't think we've actually mentioned here, Bart and I have been talking about this Age of Joy. That was the name of it, right? Arcade games. And this is standalone Quest. You don't need a PC for this. There's somebody else made an arcade where you need the PC to run. They also have like all the home consoles in it and stuff like that. This one, it just runs right off of the Quest, but you got to find the ROMs. You go to their Discord, the people who are building the cabinets, they'll make the cabinets look like the real thing, or they'll make whatever you want, really. They're making all kinds of stuff like that. But Bart sent me the files to get started for the cabinets he has, and it's VR. You're walking into an arcade, and there's Crazy Climber, there's Popeye, there's the real games, the cabinets you can walk around and look at, and there's NPCs walking around this arcade too. That startled the hell out of Bart the first time he played. Somebody came walking past him. The only thing they really need with that thing is a multiplayer, so you can bring your buddies in. But I imagine to do that, you would probably both have to have the files for the same cabinets and the same ROMs and everything, on your system.
Right.
But haven't really delved into it too much. We've been talking about it since the last show we did, I think, a month ago. And we started into it. But they also have a mixed reality, Quest 3. You can put these arcade cabinets, Popeye arcade cabinet, right in your house. Or the one guy video I watched, he had a whole arcade in his backyard. Nice. Cabinets everywhere.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really cool. So we have Donkey Kong on there. And Mike, when you walk in, they already have like 80s posters on the wall. So you got Terminator and Back to the Future posters and stuff like that on the wall.
Yeah.
Really neat. And then there's a way that you can make an attic bedroom in it and have whatever consoles you want. The guy has Atari 2600. He has the Saturn in there, Dreamcast, stuff like that. as long as you have the ROMs, you can play those cabinets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a look at Age of Joy. It looks like real cabinets, and then somewhere in here, I don't see it now. I don't have it pulled up, but they have people showing the pass-through mode where they got the games in their home, and they look like full arcade cabinets. It's pretty cool. You got to pull out a coin off your thing. Well, I guess it's off your wrist. You pull the coin out, put it in to add a credit.
And for the mixed reality, when you're outside of the arcade, there's a manhole in the road. So that's how you get to mixed reality mode. You go over and enter the manhole instead of the actual arcade. Then it'll let you put these cabinets in your living room.
Oh, wow.
Nice. Yeah, I haven't even tried that because I just got a handful of the games. But I did try that with the Pinball FX, though, where I put the pinball tables in the house.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And I still like that, getting off on a tangent, but the cabin.
Yeah.
The what is it called? What is that?
Home invasion. The cabin home invasion.
Yeah,
Mixed
it's a
reality.
zombie shooter. Basically, I put a door where my front door was. I put a window where my window is, and then I put another door where the door to our bedroom is. And then you're standing in your living room or wherever, and zombies are coming up at you.
Right. And eventually, this big dude rips your wall open. Big fat dude
blows
rips
the
the wall
open. Then between rounds, that thing comes up out of the floor with the new weapons and ammo and stuff. And it's
the video I made of it, Nacho's just laying there on the floor. It's so funny because there's like zombies walking past him and stuff. Like, Nacho, don't you see the zombies? What are you doing?
Yeah. When I did my video, Kelly and Shelby were sitting on the couch. And I turn over the one door. I'm like, look out, Shelby, there's a zombie walking. She didn't seem to care, though. I don't know. She acted like she couldn't even see it.
But I'm loving these games. I had a good time with Zombie Army VR too, but that's only 2-player. And that's tough because it'd be nice to have 4 players with that thing. Because if you get that sniper rifle and you want to get a good shot on somebody, you need somebody covering you while you're doing that. If Ford coming in, you want to take that shot. But it's a lot of fun too. But you got the time period weapons there. So, and I have it set up for the realistic reload. So you're standing there doing all of this and everything else, and there's 25 guys right in your face eating you while you're trying to do that.
Yeah. Now, Bo, you have two headsets at your house now. You got the Quest 3 and you still have your Quest 2.
Right.
And if you are you going to set up a secondary account on that Quest 2 and leave yourself as the primary? Because if you
That's
do that,
probably.
then all the games that you have purchased will be available and you can play multiplayer. That's what Kelly and I do. I'm the primary.
Yeah,
on
that
both
would be
headsets. And then
I could have that actually set up to play mini golf with my son and daughter, because my daughter will be moving back in for a little bit too this month. And I have it on my PlayStation 5, so we could actually do 3-player right there at the same time.
Yeah, and they changed it when we first got our Quest 2s and we had both of them. You could share a game, but the DLCs you couldn't share. So, like, we get mini golf, and then Kelly and I would both have to buy the new courses. Well, something changed a couple of updates ago, which has been 6 or 8 months now. When I buy a DLC, Kelly has it. So, like, and that worked for the fishing. It works for the mini golf. Everything that I buy, if I buy a DLC, Kelly automatically has it for free.
Nice.
So that is a cool thing.
Yeah, like I said, I've been.
I just now read what you got for
Donkey Dong.
But,
Yeah, I bought that. What the heck is it called? We were just talking about the one that we all played a few weeks ago on the Quest there, and I bought that also for the PS5 because it was on sale for like $8 the other day for the deluxe edition. where they give you some kind of special weapon and special PlayStation skin for it and everything. So now I think there's a little. It's different, I think, from what I read, how you have to do an invite cross-platform. So I'm going to have to look into that. I don't think it's just as simple as, hey, let's go play, like something like Walkabout and stuff like that, where you just find the same room.
Right.
I have to figure that out. But I couldn't pass it up. I mean, well, I could. But, I can have it both on the PlayStation and the Quest now. So I can play it whichever room. If I can't have the living room, I can play it someplace else.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Or if you and the boy want to play, and you both your kids could play. Right?
Yeah.
If you can figure it. It is tricky. After the fall was tricky to get us all into that same room. But I think now that we've all had friend requests sent, because that's the key. I didn't realize we didn't have to be in the same lobby. I was able to invite you guys when we were in different lobbies, as long as I had you on my friends list. So I don't know if there's some way like that where maybe you guys have to get lucky to be in the same lobby so you can friend each other, and then it would be easier. Or if you got on the PlayStation and we were on there, we'd have to figure out.
Yeah, I want to try to figure that out. That way we could live stream it if we wanted to, like right then and there.
Yeah.
That's a fun game, though. I like it. I like it a lot. And got a lot of fun things. Kelly and I played another, I think maybe 2 levels we went beyond, and we're getting good enough that we're not bringing AI players with us, but we're barely that end mob that comes out. Kelly and I are barely making it through, and matter of fact, I think the last mission we did, Kelly was still frozen, and I was going over to jabber with the med kit, and the dude was coming. So I stopped to blast him and happened to kill him. So we ended the level. She was froze. And I was down to my last med kit thing, and we're like, oh, we're toast. There's no way. This guy's just beating the crap out of us. And I got lucky. Killed it. But it's a lot of fun. I like that game a lot.
Yeah, and that's one that was actually a few years old. And I never, I don't know. I was actually thinking about us all playing Zombie Army VR, but then I saw, well, that's only 2-player. I wonder if there's something else comparable, and that's when I saw that after the fall. Like, a lot of people seem to love that game. So
yeah, and the devs are still active with it. It's not like it's forgotten technology. It's pretty cool. Oh, I think we were on the 4th level. Kelly said 3rd level. I'm not going to put her thing up there because I think she's wrong. I can say that because we're in different buildings. Yeah, I don't know. Because I think the 3rd level was the tower, and then we did the 4th level. But it does get hard. It does get hard. And I like playing with the 4 of us, made it a lot better. It was a lot of fun. So. Yeah,
we had that one part, one snag. I threw that grenade and everything froze for me and Mike.
Right.
Yeah.
And you guys were able to keep going on, and I'm like, why are the zombies just standing there? Well, I'm going over with my gun and just putting it up to their chins and blowing their heads off. Like, this is funny. And then, like, wait, Mike and I can't go up the stairs. We're stuck. So.
Right. Yeah, so we had to start over. That's right. But other than that, the next time we went through, everything was okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
But we couldn't get the microphones all working. So we had to stay in the call. So, which is fine if you're not recording. It worked just fine. We could stay in the call and we could all hear each other.
Right.
If any of us want to record, yeah, maybe. Then you don't get people in the call. You don't get that recording. But I don't know. I've been having trouble with the in Quest recording, even with the Quest 3. It's better than the Quest 2 was for me, but I still have syncing issues with the audio. And I had a strange deal when I recorded that last fishing video that Kelly and I did. I exported it to my computer so I could edit them together because I'm recording different clips, a little bit at each place, and they played fine. But then when I did the encoding from my editing software, one section got out of sync really bad, and I'm like, the source file was good. My editing software doesn't do that with any other videos, only from the Quest. I think what I'm going to have to do is run the Quest videos through Handbrake so it re-encodes them, because I'm thinking there was a little bitrate issue where it went to a variable bitrate or something, because it said sometimes that can cause your editing software to get confused and it gets out of sync. So it's like, man, I'm constantly having troubles with the audio syncing with the video when I do Quest, and even on the Quest 3, I'm having that trouble. Yeah, when Poe plays Titanic, he has major syncing issues. That's true. Yeah, but
every time I play one of these games, I'm like, cool, I'm going to put out another VR video. And I'm like, wait a minute. Mike's Gaming Gal is the only one that watches my videos. He can't watch the VR one. So now I've limited myself to nobody watching my videos.
yeah, I watch your videos. I just don't comment on them all.
You got nothing to say. Yeah.
Yeah. I tell you. It's one of I was just looking at my analytics, which I hate looking at my analytics. Every time I look at my analytics, I'm shutting my channel down, because it's like, how can I do a 45-minute video and the average view time is 3 minutes and 18 seconds? But I was looking, one of my, you were talking about when you asked Mike if I ever tried the PC VR. Still, I think it's over the last 6 months, my most watched video is when I did American Truck Simulator in VR, which I did that like 2 years ago. I did one video, but it's a pain in the ass to record. For me, my video card is straining to do VR. I'm running a 2060. So it's straining to do VR anyway. And then I try to record. It's even worse. But yeah, that's my most watched video over the last 6 months, and it's a 2-year-old video, and it's because it's PC VR, a game that people are thinking, oh, Truck Sim, that'd be awesome to play in VR. But which it is. It looks cool, the headset, but they're not. The Quest 2 doesn't have the best screens and all that, and the Fresnel lenses and stuff, so it's not as crisp as if you're watching it on your 4K monitor, but it's playable and it's cool because you're inside of a semi, so it looks really neat. Joker.
Oh, isn't it your sports one? Your football one was another one that a lot of people watched, and the golf one.
That golf one was the first VR one I ever did, I think, and that I got lucky because I put out a video the day it was the first day that they ever had a full course golf course in VR. Yeah. Everything up to that point was putting greens, mini golf, or driving range. And the day they put out that Golf Plus first course, I said, let's see what happens. And I don't know if you ever watched that video. I cut it right in the middle. Me and Jason were playing. I'm like, I'm just going to start recording. We're on like halfway through hole 3. It's just a throwaway. It shot to like 16,000 views. I'm like, Jesus. No wonder these people didn't sub. They're like, this guy doesn't even know what he's doing. He started halfway through.
I look back and I have a bad habit with these systems now. You can buy the games from an app, the Nintendo Switch, the PS5, MetaQuest. And I buy things from work. And then I'm tired and I forget about them. So then I'll turn on the Quest. And I have Golf Plus. I have that zombie horror survival game that you and Kelly were playing for a while there. I bought all the stuff in anticipation of playing with you. I've never played real golf in my life, but I thought that Golf Plus would be cool. I have all of the Vader games on there that I bought a year ago, I think, during the May the 4th. And then the PSVR 2, I have horror games and stuff like that. I'm like, I'm buying this. So I got all these games that I haven't even played yet. But recently, they had the U.S. Open right here, Oakmont Golf Course, like 15 minutes away from me. And And I had some friends go down to watch a little bit here and there. Everything was expensive as hell. The food, the bottled water, the clothes. People were in my town renting out their houses with an Airbnb. This crappy town and these shitty houses. You know, you can rent this place for $1 million if you want to go to the U.S. Open. You can park here and we'll shuttle you to. But I was wondering if Golf Plus had one. I'm talking to my buddies at work that actually went with their kids for some of this. They're like, it's got to have it. But when I looked at the list of games, I did a Google search. I don't think they do have that Golf Plus.
Oh, wow.
On there. I think that, and it's probably, I'm sure it's a licensing issue. They got to pay for these golf courses. It probably licenses run out, and but that would be really sweet if they would have a golf course that's 15 minutes away from me on there.
Right. They have quite a few courses now, and but they don't. There's a lot of courses they don't have because there's just so many courses out there, and no courses a year. I miss it now because you guys know me and my boys used to golf. We used to golf every Sunday night. I'd leave the show and go golfing, and but then people's schedules change and we can't do that anymore. And it's been months to golf with the boys, but that's another one. It's just for us, it was the same as it is with you guys when we go play walkabout mini golf. We're just having fun and playing on a golf course. And then when Ed got his quest, I played golf with him a couple times.
It got so bad you made him quit YouTube altogether.
Yeah, he hasn't come back. I messaged him a couple of weeks ago and just see how he's doing and everything. He's doing good, but yeah, he took a break from YouTube, and
he's just such a nice and cool guy. He fit right in when you introduced us to him and everything, and so I hope he gets back on doing that stuff again once he's ready. Because I can totally understand the burnout from it. But.
Yeah. And he put those videos together every month of all of the VPX tables that came out. Not all of them, but he would pick a dozen or so games and do a highlight reel, and he'd play the games, and then he did his in-depth, how to play the game, and you want to aim for these, and these are the modes. And he put a lot of time into those videos. And Mike, you know how that goes because you put a lot of time into yours.
Oh, yeah.
Just hit record and start playing. And hope people listen past the 3-minute mark. But yeah, so he put a lot of work. So I get the burnout for him. And I thought he was going to take a month or two off maybe. And it's been almost 6 months now since he stopped recording.
I think the further along you go not doing it, the easier it is not to come back, or the harder it is to come back.
Right.
You get more time to do other things. So, I was doing all of those episodes of Indiana Jones, and then I just couldn't anymore. All of a sudden, it's been like 3 weeks since I even played again. Like, wow, where did the time go? It's got too busy.
Yeah, for sure. Can't wait for him to make more videos. And I don't bring it up when I talk to Ed. I'll just ask him how he's doing, and I don't bring up, so you're coming back? What the hell, dude? But, but he's got a brand new grandbaby who's, I say brand new, but before I know it, he's going to be like, yeah, he's 6 now. I'll be like, what the fuck?
Right.
He was 3 months old.
Wow.
Time flies, that's for sure. My brother was over, and he has his grandbaby back with him for a little while here. His nephew stopped up and visited last week and left his boy here with them for a week. Now they're going back down to Virginia next week. But such a cute little kid. One of my great nephews. I have a few great nephews now. Old man Poe sitting here. So what a great kid. Another generation of goofballs just like the rest of us. But he was just running around today having a great time.
Yeah, see now Mike's Gaming Gala, he hit it right here. Poe puts a lot of effort into his 45-minute intros, but the most effort is getting him to stop talking and hit and play for his gameplay.
The best thing is, you can't tell that I have no script. I think the last one I did, I couldn't even remember the name of the game, the Titanic. Hey, everybody, we're talking about Titanic space It's something. I'll tell you later in the wrap up when I look it up on Google.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you notice on all my truck sim videos, I'll start off and then I bring up what the job is. It's not to show the viewers, it's because I already forgot. I'm like, where the fuck am I driving? I don't know. I gotta tell people. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I spend more time figuring out how we can play VR when Derek can't possibly play than I do making my own video.
Right.
Like, let's see, Derek's probably busy that day. Hey, Derek, we're going to play VR today. Are you available? Oh, you can't do it? Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's the hardest part of scheduling. People would think it's getting all of us together. It's getting us all together when Derek can't be there. That's the hard part.
Well, the hard part for that one, see, I lost my name again. I keep wanting to call it All for One instead of After the Fall. It's like Three Musketeers versus the Zombies. That would be a great VR game.
Right?
Taste my blade. Yeah, that's a 4-player game. So we each have it, and then Kelly played. So we can't leave anybody out there, Derek. You just have to wait. If somebody's injured, then you can play. So just stand by. We'll let you know when we're playing. Don't do anything except sit by your quest.
Right. Don't get a splinter while you're riding pine on the bench there. Yeah, because it's hard to try to be subtle now anymore. With Derek, are you going to be busy on Monday? Derek, are you going to be busy next Friday from 4 to 6 p.m.? Are you going to be busy? Sometimes he says no, and then we're like, fuck. Just wondering.
I'd like to play some mini golf. I'd like to have Mike's Gaming Gal join us for.
Oh, that would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can have 8 players. So
Derek more people.
Yes. Derek could come in too, I guess. We don't have an excuse.
But, we're going to have Derek. We could have somebody like Bliss there too. You know.
Yeah.
At least they could talk to each other.
Yeah. and that, the mini golf, that's a great game for people that are worried about motion sickness, because you don't have to do anything. Now, we get like idiots and we're flying around, and pretty soon I don't feel so good because I'm flying Mach 6 through these canyons and stuff. And I'm like, maybe I shouldn't do that. But if you want, you could just pull the trigger, get right to your ball, putt, and then teleport a little ways off to watch the other people and not even really move.
Yeah, and you can sit while you're playing. So
yeah, and when you're moving with your own body, that helps a lot too. Because when we played the cabin and we were playing 2-player, we're running around shooting zombies, there were times where I'd start like, oh man, I got to slow down. But when I'm playing in that mixed reality and I'm actually walking through my living room to look out the different windows, no motion sickness at all, because you're walking around. The computer's not moving you, you're moving yourself.
Right.
And
I forgot that was a lot of fun with the two of us too back when we played that. That got intense.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course we used to play Arizona Sunshine. And
that's a good game.
And I think After the Fall's made by the same people, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Arizona Sunshine.
I think they had a bundle, I think, that you could get the boat or something like that.
Yeah.
And they had that arcade machine, remember, that's in the After the Fall game.
Dang it. I told you we shouldn't talk too much about Derek while he's still here. See, we got out of the habit because Derek wasn't here for our last show, right? So we just got used to talking smack about him right during the show. Yeah. But
we talk about once a month. Next month, the first Sunday, I can't even make it like I did here and come in a little bit later. My boys got a late flight August 3rd. So we'll be down in Pittsburgh, and then I know I'll be working the next morning. So I'll probably be getting home with enough time to get like 4 hours of sleep before I get up for work that day.
yeah, we might see what we want to do. We have a month to decide. Maybe we'll push it to the following week.
Yeah.
Do it on the 10th instead of the 3rd. Talk to Greg, so he might want to throw another week into his little tournament. be a 5-weeker. I forgot about that, but yeah, we can see. We can see. Anyway, speaking of getting late, we're almost at 2 hours.
And normally, since I have the week off, I'd be like, screw it, let's go 8 hours. But with the entire family here now, as far as I know, they're still on their health one.
Yeah.
I'm with them in spirit, but sure they'll want to come back here and do something. I think we're heading to the Strip District in Pittsburgh tomorrow. We're gonna, since we can't make it to Virginia or Myrtle Beach, I think we're gonna go down to Holy's. It's a legendary seafood place in the Pittsburgh Strip District. Been there forever. All the fresh fish and things like that. So I think we're gonna pick up some shrimp and some crab legs and maybe some lobster or something, and we're going to do a big seafood boil here one of these days.
Nice.
So Pittsburgh bound tomorrow.
Nice. Yeah, Mike.
I saw Casey was here earlier too, television gamer.
Yeah.
That guy has me buying so many homebrews now. I mean, watching Mike's gaming go, you want to buy these homebrews, but sometimes they're just not there anymore. You know, homebrews are back way. But the television revolution, and a lot of cool television games that are out there, usually always available, or at some point they'll be available again. But Casey always goes on Facebook and points out, hey, he's doing sales on eBay right now. And usually when I see Casey post about it, I don't see it till the next morning when I'm at work. So I'll click on the link, and like the games that I really wanted, they're already gone. Everybody bought them after Casey announced it. But I did buy Frankenstein's Monster last week. It should be coming here soon.
Nice.
For the television. And but I was there like 16 minutes after Casey posted again the other night, and I went and bought 2 more homebrew games for the television. So I blame Casey. If I get yelled at or get in trouble when these things show up, it's all his fault. So
Yeah. That's funny. Yeah, well, now you have the boys there. He can run cover for you.
yeah, I can say he did it. Well, the first thing he did when he got in the house last night was go to make sure all of his Game Boy and Game Boy Advance and DS games were still there. I'm like, I didn't touch them. I thought about selling them. He gets some extra money. He's packing them up. He's taking them back to Washington with him.
Oh,
He leaves here. So.
Well, whatever. If you know what day these games are coming in, just give Davey a 20 and say, take your mom out for ice cream. Just FedEx guy gets here.
Man, I used to do that. Like if he had a day off and I was at work back when he was still here, I'm like, hey, there's a package on the front porch. Get it before mom goes and opens the front door.
Yeah, that's funny. All right, yeah. I've had a long day, so I've about had it. It's 8
Oh,
o'clock.
I saw Mike's thing. Frankenstein's Monster is a great game from Mystique. So it's about his Frankenbeans. It's about Frankenstein's wiener is what we're talking here.
Oh, I see. Nice. Did you guys have anything else you needed to talk about tonight?
No.
Or wanted to get in?
something quick, Rolls. I want to just say I actually hit my milestone today for the 4,000 watch hours.
Oh,
So
nice.
when I woke up this morning. I'm like, dude, I'm eligible for monetization. So I did put apply in the what is it on your YouTube Studios app. So I hit that, but I'm currently kind of waiting. I don't know how long it's going to take. Maybe Mike knows when he got monetized, but yeah, that's what I'm waiting on right now, is to see how long that'll take before my channel gets monetized. But I had to kind of, I'll share a tip with you guys. If you have copyright claims on your videos and you're nearing that 1,000 mark, better clear that out quick, because YouTube won't like that. You won't get accepted by the YouTube Partner Program. So I did clear out from what I had on my Mike's Gaming Road Warrior channel. Clear out all the live streams with the wrong music. And it's easy though. You can just replace the music with what YouTube's got. So it's good to go. Even though it should be Willie Nelson, you have some YouTube music playing.
Yeah, you know what's really annoying is I use that Keymaster, and I pay for the pro. So I pay for some of their music. It's free. Some of it you pay for. And I still get hit with that copyright, even though I'm paying for the premium.
That happens with my video editor too. Some of the music, it's supposed to be free, but it's not. It's like you got to go look for the guy that made it, put his link on there, and then you're golden.
Okay.
Yeah, sometimes that happens on YouTube too. There's a certain symphony music. If I want to grab that, it's like, what? I got to grab the link on. That way they get credit for it, and you just link it in the description, and you won't get flagged by it. But I kind of notice if you don't, YouTube still flags it as a copyright. I'm like, oh, dang it. So I have to go correct it again. But yeah, everything's pretty much corrected. I just got to wait. So Mike's saying it's a month or so. Wow. So yeah, when you're getting near it, clear out your channel. You know, you can replace it. It's so easy. That's why I didn't care if we had any copyright. I knew it's going to be an easy fix because YouTube has that editor that can change the music out for you. So it's a simple fix. It won't ruin your video. It just changes the music to something that's more copyright friendly in their eyes and stuff. So yeah, that's a tip. And if you don't mind, here, I'll kind of have that photo. So let me open that up. Just want to show this real quick before we end.
Yeah, it'll take me forever to get to the view hours, even when because what do you need? 3,000 for when you get to 500, so you can do those other things. You get 500 subs, you can do whatever. I hang just like
500, 3,000 hours watch time. Yeah.
Yeah, I hang like 200 hours underneath constantly. Even that month that I did in May when I did a video every day of the month, my watch hours didn't improve. It's like nobody watches.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I don't even know where to look for watch hours because I know I'll never get there. So I don't look at any of that stuff.
Well, yeah, when you get close to it, I'm just saying when you get close to that time, you never know because I wasn't expecting my Turtles video is the one that got me to 4,000 hours of watch time. Now it's single by itself, but of course your other videos, they are included for the 365 days. And so let me pull this up real quick. But yeah, the Turtles video is doing really well. I've been getting like some subscribers like crazy on that video. But that's what kind of pushed it. You know, when I checked, I'm like, holy smokes! And I, applied for the monetization and stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. But
yeah, that's
I'm glad
awesome.
Mike's here to kind of explain that. So it takes a month or so. Because I know like later they'll kind of, I think what they do is test to see your bank account. So you got to get your bank account set up. Or I think they submit $1 and then I don't know if they pull it back just to see when you're ready for the, for the YouTube ads that you'll get a little bit of money. I know it's not going to be a lot. What I've heard from other people, it's like chump change. But the more views you get on your videos, the better, you'll get with money. Of course, YouTube's going to take a big chunk of it. So I'm not expecting to live off of it. That's not going to happen. But, whatever little, you can go buy a Twix or, a milkshake every now and then. I mean, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I told you before, that's my two favorite things. Video games and documentaries. So whenever somebody has video game documentaries, I'm all about that. So like my channel does nothing unique whatsoever. So we're just here's a game, let's play it. But first, let's talk an hour.
Yeah.
But someone like the stuff that you do, it definitely I think it deserves more eyes on it.
Yeah. What is it? Yeah, you have AdSense and the snail mail you a code. Yep. Yeah, that's what I was reading about, Mike. That's cool. So I gotta wait about a month or so before I get that notification from them. So YouTube takes 30%. Okay. Yeah, you're not gonna get a lot from it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ain't making Scott the Wasp money.
No.
Ed was saying that same thing with he wasn't making a killing off of it, but it was what he was doing was it would help him buy gear for tables or anything like that to help his channel, but not much more. So
yeah,
but
I mean, I think
you never know.
Yeah, I think for me, since I do have a writer I collaborate with, my friend Mike A. He's the one that does a lot of research for my scripts and stuff. That'll give me a chance to kind of pay him because it's usually off my paycheck that I've been paying, and that would be kind of nice for YouTube to help me out, so I can pay him,
Right.
instead of always coming out of my pocket. It'd be kind of nice to hang on to that money so I can buy other stuff that I need to improve the channel because I'm wanting to do live streaming too, but I want to kind of get those special things. I don't know if you've seen like with Mike and Bliss, they have those little cool things with their live streams. I want to kind of buy that kind of stuff too for my channel as well. So
And
Yeah.
you get super chats, and you never know what's going to happen during the live stream. Like Mike did a live stream the one week, and
Yeah.
somebody super chatted him. They gave him $20, and I
Oh,
didn't want to be undone, so I gave him $20.01. I was crazy that day.
Wow. Yeah, I went the other way on one of my. I tried to super chat him negative $100. It would go up into my account, and it didn't work. Yeah, that's awesome though, Mike. That is awesome. And like Poe was saying, you're putting stuff together that's worth watching. Like I said earlier, me and Poe, I'm going to play this game. Hit record, and then. But Poe, you even do more than I do, Poe, because you do an intro and talk about the game. I'm just like, fuck it, I'm playing. But yeah, I don't have anything that really stands out with my channel. It's just whatever it is. But
well, you did have that comment though from that lady. Remember, she said you had a soothing voice.
yeah, I think she was trying to get me to buy something from her. I don't know what that was all about, because then eventually she sent a message. Hey, you should get with this service that'll help you. They can help you do stuff. And it's like, oh yeah, pay them a bunch of money and they'll tell me, hey,
Oh, yeah.
write a script or something. But yeah, someone was crazy.
I mean, once I get to that point where I can take a super chat, I mean, Mike's Gaming Gal always says to me, show me your tits. But once I have a super chat, I can be like, give me $5. Hey, those tits are yours.
Yeah. Super chat Bliss $50 to play Pac-Man 2600.
Yeah, yes, Derek did. I was there when Derek paid off Bliss.
Wow. That's crazy.
That whore, Retro Bliss is a whore. He did it too. He did it and he liked it.
Oh, thanks,
Nice.
Derek, and also Mike. I saw that. You congratulate. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That is awesome. All right. Anything else? Can you tell I'm tired?
Yeah.
I woke up at 2, and then you have to get up at 4, and you
Yeah.
never really fall back asleep. And I'm like, every 20 minutes, I'm looking at the clock again. I'm like, this sucks.
We stayed up playing Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Switch. I bought that a few months back, just waiting for my son. We played it back in the day on the Wii, I think it was, before they remastered it or whatever.
Yeah.
But we had gone to Golden Corral, and I haven't gone there in a while.
Oh, yum.
So we went to bed after 4 a.m., and I think it was somewhere around 8 a.m. I woke up, and it was like whenever Uncle Jed was shooting at the rabbit and he missed. You remember that scene with all the Texas tea coming up? Yeah, that's what happened to me at that time in the morning. I'm like, damn you, Golden Corral. Still after all these years, the same results.
Wow. Nice.
I paint a picture, a lovely, lovely picture.
Yeah. We just can't take super chats on the live stream here. So otherwise, it would be there.
Super craps.
Right.
All right, Joker. Yeah, we'll definitely see you in the Discord. We'll see if we can't offend people more in there. Okay, that's what I usually do.
Right. Yeah.
You'll get something good from Off Grid. He'll tell you what he's playing or what he's watching, and then I'll have some kind of weird, almost porno video up on the board.
Yeah. All right. So, do we got any final thoughts or did we final thought ourselves out?
We're good.
I'll be playing whatever comes my way when I get a chance. It'll be a busy month, so I don't know. I really don't know what I'll be playing next.
Are you gonna play Madison again? I actually watched a guy play that video. I didn't realize that's a long.
It's a very long game. I'm probably a little over halfway through it, and I stopped playing. That's the one I stopped playing
Yeah.
a year ago. So I should get back to that. We'll see. Well, my daughter keeps telling me to get back to it. But I ended up, I watched Brooklyn Menace play through it at the same time as me, and then I stopped and he kept going. So
Yeah, I'd like to watch that video because I'm planning not playing that game. It looks too scary for me. So at least if you go through it, I can live through it through you on it.
And VR, it's definitely like, wow. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm tempted to get that Ghost Town.
Oh, me too.
That looks awesome. I just haven't.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying a lot of good things about that game.
Yeah, and I almost bought Seventh Guest the other day because it's in the big meta sale.
That's the other one I bought for PlayStation and started playing and never finished. Right? That's on there.
Yeah, I played
that was probably a year ago
when it came out years and years ago on flat screen. I played it then, and I thought, man, but it's. I don't know if that meta sale is still going. I think maybe that's going until the 10th. I don't know, but it's on sale. I think for $12 for 7
Oh,
Guest.
nice.
So
it's
I thought about
it's
getting that. But that Ghost Town looks really awesome, and I've heard really good things about it. But I don't know.
And I think there's 2 courses that I still haven't played in Walkabout, so I need to play those at some point.
Yeah, that Crystal Lair is really awesome. I think you stepped away when I was talking about that earlier. They got a really neat mechanic in that, which the first time when Kelly and I were playing, we're like, what the heck is that? And then you find out quickly when you hit it exactly what that does.
I don't know if I got to finish that video. I started watching you guys, and then I think I got yelled at to do some work around the house or something right when I was watching it.
Yeah.
So.
We just punched in, and I showed like 5 holes. I didn't show the whole course. I just did like 5 holes. But it gets to the point where those, the crystals that launch your balls all over the place, you get to a point where you need to use those to not just avoid them. It's like you got to use the traps, not avoid the traps. So that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that course. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. So, and Mike, did you have anything final thought you wanted to talk about?
Yeah, my next video I'm going to be working on is Turtles in Time for the Super Nintendo, and then after that is going to be Parasite Eve for PlayStation 1. So I got those games lined up for my stuff. But right now, I said I had a special project in my community page, and it's working on my computer, so that way I can get it in here, and then take the other one and move it. I have another desk right here, so it'll be there for my wife to arrange the pictures. So.
Nice. Excellent. Yeah. And the only thing I got going on is Iowa's coming out this week. And so I plan on doing that. And yeah, I'm not.
If I decide to wake my ass up early one day, I might be able to play some mini golf at some point before the family wants to do stuff. So, because
Nice.
if today was any indication, my boy slept until noon. he's on leave and he's taking advantage of it. So,
Right. Yeah, definitely let me know if you want to play. I don't care. I get up at 5 in the morning, so I don't care. But
Yeah, I'm off Fridays, so I don't work.
yeah,
we can try for that. Try for early Friday.
Yeah.
sounds good.
4 a.m. good your time, Mike?
I think I'll be a zombie.
We'll be shooting Mike.
I'm like going to bed after I'm doing my editing.
You haven't been to bed yet, right?
Yeah. Mike's going to bed from editing when me and Poe are getting up.
Well, just send a letter to Meta. We need a lay down mode. You can play right from bed.
Right? Well, I think the Quest 3 has that thing, right, where you can play, so you can watch movies and stuff while you're laying down.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. I haven't tried that. I
want to link up my PS5 just to be able to play it, even though I could play on my portal. I think I'd like to play it on the Quest 3 on the big screen, like virtual big screen.
Yeah.
Like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna try to watch one of those movies laying down on the bed, but as soon as the bow started, it woke Kelly up. So I was busted.
I told you, the one guy at work that told me the fun stuff he does with it. I went to the link he said. All of a sudden, I was the only guy. There was 2 schoolgirls and a teacher, and she wanted to show them, the girls, how to give a proper VJ, and I was the only guy in the class. What could I do about it? The only thing that confused me about it is when I looked down, my wiener wasn't white. So I don't know. I get too far. It was definitely bigger than the real thing. I love VR.
Oh, that's hilarious. All right. So keep an eye on the Discord and keep an eye out for Greg's tournaments. He's going to do weekly tournaments. He's going to total up the score, so you'll get points for winning. Second, third, I'm sure we'll get more points, and then everyone who plays gets a point. We're going to total it all up, and next month's video, which is looking like it's going to be the 10th instead of the 3rd, keep an eye on Discord. We will keep everyone updated on that as well. I'll tell Greg, hey, come up with a 5th game because we're going to go a 5th week. And it's a fun way to do tournaments. So get in and play some pinball. And, yeah, other than that, just watch our videos whenever you can.
We'll be here, yeah. We'll be here.
We're doing stuff when we can. So, all right. Is that it?
We'll see you on the next one. Human centipede time. Beat him in the Here comes the whistle. I love the whistle. Nice.
Oh, we're blocking the water.
Lager.